Warning, the following video contains very strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Hey everybody, it's Annabelle. So I'm going to talk about the high voltage overpriced issue with Kid Omega. If that's not something you're into, if that's not something you want to hear about, feel free to click off this one because I'm going to swear. For everybody else, thanks so much for hanging on. Alright, with that being said. Second dinner, you fucked up. You fucked up royal. You fucked up so hard, it's not even funny. This is sad. This is pathetic. This is humiliating to yourself. This is humiliating to the community. You have taken everybody in the community and you have fucked them. You have fucked them over 6 ways from Sunday. I'm sorry for everybody who's trying to be nice and tap dance around this, but second dinner, this is a fuck up. This is a huge, gigantic fuck up. Kid Omega is way overpriced. The high voltage overdrive, which I'm calling high voltage overpriced, is just ridiculous. Just to go through the quick math for everybody out there, Kid Omega costs 50,000 volts. If you were to do everything on the track, you'll get about 9,500 volts. If you were to go and complete every single one of your dailies, you'll collect an additional 2,100 credits. Sorry, 21,000 credits, I shouldn't lie. And then the Twitch dailies are supposed to give us 8,000 credits. For some reason, we got no Twitch dailies today. So even if you were to do all of this, get all the Twitch dailies, do all of your quests, and complete the entire track, which by the way, you can't even complete the entire track without doing extra wins. So even if you're to do everything else on that, even get everything else on this entire path, you'd be 11,500 volts short of getting just Kid Omega. If you were to spend all 8 days trying to grind that out, you would need 1,438 volts per day. If you were to win 20 volts per win, which is the common win, you would need 69 additional wins per day. To break that down even further, that means if you were to spend 8 hours per day trying to grind out Kid Omega, you would need to win 8 games per hour, or 4 games every half an hour, or 2 games every 15 minutes, or 1 game every 8 minutes roughly. That is ridiculous. That is insane, especially considering the fact that if you really try on the game, a good game takes you about 5 minutes to get through. So that means in order for you to try to get this by grinding 8 hours per day, you would have to win each and every single one of your matches without fail. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. Your people who play second dinner want cards badly. The people who need the cards the baddest are the newer players. You just got a whole bunch of people who entered into the game again because of the change of the spotlight packs. And to talk about the spotlight packs, when you said you were coming out with the spotlight packs, because you said that there would be maybe a couple 4 drops a month, that you'd do 1 or 2, but this particular month you really showed your colors. You really proved to us that you want to release one Series 5 and one Series 4 card per month. And that's just unattainable for a free-to-play player. You cannot be releasing that many cards without increasing how much you're giving people. All you're doing is you're making it so that the people who have the most amount of resources stay on the hog and stay high on the hog, and the people who have the least amount of resources can't get ahead in any way, shape, or form. And that's fucked up. And I've tried to defend you guys in the past. I've said in other situations that you've gone through, when the whole thing happened with Biden's and you shutting down the game for the Americas for a couple days, I went out of my way to tell people, now is not the time for torches and pitchforks. With this, I say now it's the time for torches and pitchforks. This is unacceptable. This is unbelievable. This is the biggest fuck you that you could give your players at this time. And I tried to give you some sort of benefit of the doubt. When I looked at this, I thought maybe, just maybe, you had copied the information from the Sanctum Sanctorum to this particular high voltage game, and you forgot to change the prices. And I was like, okay, it's a mistake, but that can happen. But that's not true, because I looked at your prices on stuff. Your price for a pool up here, one of these pools, is 12 times what it was in high voltage. 12 times. Your price for the additional it's 4 times what it was in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Your price for a border, and I'm using the more expensive border, not the cheaper border, is 6 times more expensive than it was in Sanctum Sanctorum. Your price for an emote is 8 times more expensive than it was. And finally, the weirdest one of all, your price for an avatar is 35 times more expensive than it was in Sanctum Sanctorum. What is wrong with you? Seriously, I want to know what's wrong with you. There are going to be people who are going to quit your game over this. I'm shocked that more people aren't upset about this. I'm shocked that more people aren't in the comments about this. This is fucking stupid on your part. And now that you're self-publishing, you can't blame it on the publisher. And especially with taking away the Twitch drops that we would have needed for this, it sucks. Because yeah, I understand that with the changing over of transitioning to being self-publishing, you had some issue with your Twitch license. I get that. But then you came up with this big glorious comment that said that, hey, we're gonna give you 8,000 extra volts, and we're going to deliver them straight to your mailbox. Well, buddy, here's my mailbox. You're delivering them late. You're not hitting what we are expecting. When I went and saw that it refreshed and it wasn't there, you really took down the path of what needs to go. You really are showing what your true colors are. I don't know why you want people to spend so much money on the high voltage thing. And I know many creators are avoiding playing high voltage on Twitch right now because they're trying to make a small protest that says, hey, I'm not going to give Second Dinner the place on my screen of showing high voltage, and I'm going to join them. I'm not going to show any play of high voltage. But even in your game, you have this messed up thing on turn 4, where on turn 4, you have to put a card down and then return it back to your hand just to see what your energy actually is for that turn. For some reason, it doesn't calculate the energy correctly on that 4th turn. Also, I will say this, if you are going to say you're not going to allow certain cards in this particular mode, and then actually allow them in this mode, I don't know what to say to you, because a lot of people thought that Loki wouldn't be allowed in this mode, and Loki is allowed in this mode. The fact that Gorgon's allowed in this mode, the fact that Mockingbird's allowed in this mode. It's just Mockingbird. It's Mockingbird. It's Shang-Chi. It's Mockingbird. It's Shang-Chi. It's Victoria Hand. It's the same decks over and over again. You were trying to make this more interesting for people, and instead you made this less interesting for people. Because you can't make a deck that goes through all the different voltage effects that works for all of them, and it would have made more sense for you guys to make a deck for each of the voltages that you could have had and have people play that deck against each other, so it came down more to skill. That would have made more sense. And the number of times where I don't want the voltage to go off, and I won't play a single voltage card and it still goes off because my opponent has enough of them, means that the voltage doesn't matter in the game. It's going to go off pretty much no matter what. You can't put enough, you can't not play enough cards for the voltage to not to go off, which, if that was just your idea, you should have just let that be your idea. I mean, it's not a real surprise whether it goes off on turn 1 or turn 4. The only one that I've seen people not do is the one where they get to double the win, and I'll see people just forfeit that one because they don't want their opponent to get double the reward. You can fix this. Take a hit on this. Take the biggest hit on this. Say, we're sorry, we messed up. We're going to give Kid Omega for free to every single buddy out there. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, because it does annoy me, and I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth. The fact that you put Cobra into this 3-card pool. Yes, I understand you did this in high voltage, but when it was high voltage, it was 3 brand new cards that nobody owned, so none of them was a dud. I do not want to spend almost Kid Omega just to get Cobra. If you made it so that at the end of the 8 days I could get all 3 of the cards in the top and Kid Omega from just doing the 8 days, and that was actually just about it, maybe I would have had to do 10-15 more games per game, that would have still been outrageous, but it would have been acceptable. This just means that so many people look at this and are just going to walk away. I hope people walk away. I pray that people walk away. I pray that everybody out there does not give you a single red cent for this mode. Because if somebody gives you a single red cent for this mode, it means that you're going to do this more often, because it shows that it makes profit for you. I'm not going to give this thing a single red cent. I'm not going to give this thing a single amount of my gold. I'm still going to do the quest, but I'm going to play them loosey-goosey. I'm just playing the charge cards and moving on for my day. I'm going to see what I can win off of this. I'm not picking up Cobra. I'm not picking up Kid Omega. I'm probably going to spend all my money just getting premium mystery variants and just go with that. When I heard that you were going to give everybody an extra day just to pick stuff up from the shop when they were done, I thought, awesome. That's so nice of you to do. I didn't realize that the reason that you would doing that is because pretty much anybody who has a shot of getting Kid Omega, or even Cobra themselves, has to get it on that day 9. You're going to have to be playing to that very last second to even get a shot at this. This is just wrong. Fix it. Alright, normally when I finish these things, I say, remember, play for fun. This is the one time I'm not going to say that. Or one of the few times I'm not going to say this. I want everybody, this particular time, get in the Discord, get in the comments, show your voice, show you're angry, pound the doors, pound the floors, get the pitchforks, get the torches, tell Second Dinner that this is not okay. So anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and tell Second Dinner that this is not okay.